name is Sandy Deen. I'm currently an FIU graduate student going for my Master's in Business Administration. I was born in Flushing, New York, home of the New York Mets. I moved from New York in 1986 when I was almost 6 years old to sunny South Florida. I graduated from Florida Atlantic University in 2003 with a bachelor's degree in English. The reason that I went for a bachelor's degree in English was because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I like so many different things. I wanted to be a writer, I wanted to teach, I wanted to maybe go into business or even law one day. So I picked a major that was pretty broad for me. It actually worked out. I know I hear a lot of people say, oh, an English degree is a waste of time. You majored in your own language, but it worked out well for me. I taught in Weston, Florida for about a year, and I realized that I loved working with children. I did not like doing lesson plans. I was on this mission to find myself at about the time I was 24, which I worked for a payroll disability company just because a friend of mine helped me get the job. Ironically enough, after about a year at that position, my department was outsourced to India. I'll get into a little bit of what that experience was like for me and looking like what I look like in the business world today. But what I want to tell you is that when they outsourced my department, immediately I said, I want to go and move to Southern California. In January 2006, I moved to Hollywood, California. I pursued the writing part of my dream since I had already done teaching in South Florida. I began working for a magazine company, which I loved, and I was working for a third-party company where I dealt directly with the executives at NBC. It was a dream come true. I was working in writing, editing, I was managing, hiring, firing. I was up late nights watching television for NBC, getting morning deadlines in on time, marketing, doing lots of marketing research. I was making the most money I'd ever been making and partying like crazy. Yet in 2010, my grandmother who raised me back in Florida got severely sick and needed my help. Unfortunately, my grandmother's care was 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She suffered from dementia, diabetes, amongst so many other medical problems, to the point where the nurse would give her insulin and she would forget to eat. I decided to stay here to help her. During that time, the only way I knew how to cope with the feelings of seeing her suffer was through substance abuse. It was a long road back. When I came back, though, I experienced, for the first time, working in the world of addiction treatment. This was the best of all the worlds for me. I became a business analyst and got to do what I love, researching and building presentations, and I got to work with kids and adults who were suffering and needed help in how to cope and live life without the use of drugs or alcohol. I didn't have to make lesson plans, but I was going to bed at night not just making money like I was in LA, but knowing I had made a difference. My parents are from a country called Guyana. My great-grandparents are from India. I look the way I look, so I've dealt with diversity my entire life. My family is also Muslim. So after September 11th, the comments that I got and the treatment that I received was even worse. On top of it, we lost a family member close to us in the World Trade Center. She was also Muslim, leaving behind 4 children. One of the greatest tools that I've learned in this class is through our group discussions of problems in the workplace and how to deal with them. I realized through that so many of us deal with the same situations. And one thing that I learned from the solutions that my teammates gave me to my problem was how to deal with these situations at work. I realized that I cannot take everything personally. I have to stay unemotional and be able to communicate, especially when there's issues of discrimination in the workplace. Everyone deals with this, and I can't run or lose my cool every time this happens. The most important thing that I've learned from this course and reading these textbooks, that it's not about changing someone else's behavior as much as it is as mine. I need to change my behavior in order to stay at jobs that I love and continue to succeed. I felt like the Strength Finder analysis was on point for me. It said I was an achiever, which I am. I love accomplishing goals. I love ideas. I like connecting with people. I'm an avid learner, and I'm working on better communication. I agree with all of those strengths in making me a leader. The one thing that I do think I need to work on more is connectedness with other people. Sometimes I get so caught up in the competition and the leading and trying to convince people what to do and that my idea is the best that I forget to connect with them. And that's definitely an area where I feel that I need to work on. I value honesty and integrity. These are things that I want to bring to the company that I want to own someday in the future. I believe that this is a great strength of mine, to have morals and to believe in doing more than just making money, but in helping the world and leaving a mark. I'm currently working with 2 partners who also share those same values in opening a detox center. We want to help all of these people who are dying right now from addiction and overdose. We want to make a difference in this world, and we hope that within the next year we can launch the opening of our own detox center. I think all of the strengths that I've mentioned above and all of my experience and education and my willingness to be humble and to also look at my weaknesses and actively try to work on them are all assets that are going to make me a successful business person. I know as a manager and a supervisor, I've had to deal with resistance in organizations and having to stay calm and explain to people, encourage them more than anything else. Give them a clear path to the goal, what's expected of them, and how they can accomplish it. I know that in owning my own organization, I will find resistance. If you've seen my cats in this video, they've been resistant to listening to me perform. But what I've done and what I'll continue to do is to keep moving forward, to set those long-term goals and allow those who can see the vision after I've communicated it to them and shown them the way to do it. If they're still on board, then I'm willing to be on board with them. It's never going to be easy. I'm really glad that I took this course because the psychology in it and the human behavior parts were really what I needed to look at. Sometimes I get caught up in the numbers and the money and the paperwork that I forget that I'm dealing with other people and that I want to be a successful business owner who people respect and who they love to work for. And I believe that this course has helped me to find many avenues to achieve that goal. Thank you.